we have a pool? Yeah, there's pool. I got pool ready. I'm Matt. Sorry. Matt, pool ready? Yep. Behind you. Is there a pool someplace? Yes. Beautiful kelp bass. Chris, could you put that in the pool? Yeah, I'm going to look for
Is that lunch? Does that go to south?
a little bit short. Where are you on? Into the tank. Keep that, grab a net, keep that hagfish up. Where's the octopus guy? We're going to put him in the pool too. Yeah, you drag this back there? Yeah. Drag. You gotta slide it between the eyes of the guy. I want to name it Spot. Spot. There it is. Checker. Where you want this one there again?
Wow, that's a big guy. Yeah, I'll say. About 2.5
The last one you named him? I named all three of the babies. Okay, what do we got? Oh, tree fish. Cool. So what's in here? Notice these guys floating inside? Yeah. When you bring them up quickly, what we have to do is help them. Taking the air out of the swim bladder right now because it expanded way too fast than they can normally be. He's totally pink. And again, there's more air coming out. Very good. That sheephead is a female. And there are males, and they're way different. The males have a big black head and a black tail.
Our fishies. Oh, poor thing. They're fine. They love it. Like a nut.
So we're talking about the sheephead. This female right here, the males have a black head and a black tail, so they're way different. And the story goes, and this differs a lot, when they're born, they're sexually immature and they're bright red with all sorts of nice dots on them. When they hit about 3 to 6 years of age, something like that, they become sexually mature females. Then when they get older, 6+ years, something like that, they turn into males.
Wow.
They're hermaphroditic, so they contain both male and female parts, and they're first females and then males, so they're sequential.
higher level of development.
The male is the higher level. Once they turn male, they can't change their mind. Right, they can't go back. Now,
Being higher level?
I guess they're stuck, is the way you want to think about it.
That's, a woman would know what was
That's
going
right,
in the
they're
future
stuck.
and wouldn't change that.
So, well, what happens is that little formula changes a lot depending on what's going on in the ocean. If you remove a lot of males, a lot of the big males, which fishermen do and spear fishermen do, they target the big ones. What happens is they start to change earlier. There's no pressure for the females to remain females. They're kind of looking around and say, you know what? There are no males here. And they're very territorial, and they change earlier. So what we're seeing out here now are very small males. No longer do you see male sheephead, you see males that are about her size, which is sort of a bad thing. It would be nice if they could all remain female longer. The formula that we see is changed, and usually what happens is, and depending on the species, that poison could be a lot of poison or a little bit. And what happened with Larry, you got to write it right here. This California sheephead, a female.
That's a sheephead. That's a
California
He's
sheephead.
still counting all of them.
These other guys are kelp bass, and it's funny, the limit or the size restriction on kelp bass used to be 12 inches. The just limit on lobsters is 3.25 inches, and that measurement. That's on careful.
I was.
Yes, it is.
3.25 inches. Now that's measured from. That's measured from the base of the horns, right here where the base of the horns are, down to the back of the carapace, which is right here, the first shell, from the base of the horns to here, 3.25 inches. If it's less than that, throw it back. These guys become sexually mature when that carapace is about 2.5 inches, something like that. And again, going by that same principle, let them reproduce before you remove them. And they are able to do that. So there's a huge lobster fishery, and the good thing is they're taking a lot out, but they're sustainable, which is fantastic. Now, you know, a lot of animals are farmed. You can get salmon, you can get shrimp, a lot of farmed animals. This is really the prize. If they can farm these guys and raise them in captivity, wow, you might be able to get lobsters for $4 or $5 a pound, right? Just like we get salmon now. So it's fantastic. However, no one has successfully raised a lobster in captivity because they're very, very difficult.
No females.
No females, right? The male lobsters will produce a sperm packet, and they put it in like a tar substance, very sticky. And they'll take that sperm and they'll put it right here, right on her sternum. She will carry that around until the water warms up. April, May, right about now, the water warms up. Then she produces eggs. As the eggs come out of her, she will break that sperm packet, and the sperm will fertilize the eggs as they come out of her and get lodged underneath her swimmerets. It's a neat process. And it's, even though she's not ready to produce eggs, the males will give her that sperm until she's ready to go. And now the tricky part is, with these guys, and why you can't aquaculture them, once they hatch out in about 10 weeks, they join the plankton and drift around, and they become small larvae, and the first larva is called a phylosoma larva. But they change form, or they molt, 11 separate times over the course of a year or more. And each one of those little forms don't look like a lobster at all. It looks like almost like an insect or something extremely from like the movie Alien. But they'll molt 11 times into 11 different life forms, and we still don't know what all those life forms mean.
The red one. It's wet.
So it's impossible for us to replicate that in a laboratory or in an aquaculture setting. And by the way, that's not snow. Now, the antenna, go ahead and run your hand this way and then the other way. It's not easy, is it?
Oh no.
Oh no. It's amazing.
Almost like barbs.
Almost like barbs. Like you're running your hands down a rose
There's a
bush.
lobster out.
Lobster on the loose. Get back in there. So these are spiny lobsters, and there's a reason for it. They have a very good defense. The seat of armor that they have around them is their way of defending themselves. And if something comes in, what they can do is they can rub their antenna together at the base and create a noise that may startle potential prey, potential predators. It's molt about once a year. The small ones may molt 3, 4, 5 times a year. And what they do is first thing they do is they start to swell with water on the inside. Then they absorb the calcium in the shell because they need to use that hard calcium for their new shell. So their old shell will get very soft on the seams. And then when they're ready, they'll pop. Whoops, it's okay. They'll pop this shell right here. They'll pop this top. Oh, sea lion. Look at him. They will pop the shell right here, and they will back out of it and step out of it, leaving a perfect replica, the old shell, and they will swell up, and then they will actually grow by swelling up and deposit the calcium in their new, bigger body, and they'll do that again. So they grow in leaps and bounds, not like us. When we grow slow, it's really not perceptible, but leaps and bounds. And it takes about 7, 8, 9 years for a lobster to be 3 1/4 inches, which is the market size. So they get pretty old. If you get a 10-year-old lobster, I mean, they may get 50 years and older. So big lobsters can be very, very old. So how old would it be? I don't know. I have to measure that. Yeah, they have enemies. When they're small, octopus eat them, big fish eat them, even big black sea bass will eat them at this size. Sea otters, sea lions will eat them.
Are they at their most vulnerable state when they're backing out of their old shell?
Very vulnerable.
They probably maxed out at about 27 pounds, about 26 pounds.
Tell us what. It's a type of snail.
There's that.
Title is on me for keeping water in. And then inside you can see that's their mandible part.
I know that it's